Hey y'all, it's Annelies, and today was, everybody say it with me, Apple Christmas. Yes, except today was more like if every prior Christmas your parents got you a really cool bike, and then this year, for some reason, they decided to get you a basket. And then they took your old bike and then they like spruced it up, fixed the gears and, you know, gave it a paint job. And then in your stocking, you got a gift certificate for a gym membership and like a bamboo reusable cutlery set. Like that's what this Christmas was. It wasn't necessarily worse, but it's not what you expected. It's not what I expected, at least. I say that because the mid-September Apple event, historically, since the iPhone 5, which has been like 8 years now, has been the iPhone launch event. It's been the announcement of the new iPhone, and then in the coming weeks the phone actually rolls out. But that is not what this event was. There was still a lot of cool stuff, don't get me wrong, but this was just not what most people projected. Okay, well, the rumors people actually projected that there was not going to be an iPhone, but the average population assumed that this September Apple event was going to be the iPhone event. So in this video, I want to give you all the basic rundown of the September 2020 Time Flies Apple event. If you want to go watch the hour and like 15-ish minute long keynote, I'll leave that as the first link in the description right below the like button, so that way you can go check it out. It's really cool, it's beautiful, it's another one of those movie things like they did for WWDC, and if you're into all this stuff and you haven't watched it already, I definitely recommend. But otherwise, if you would like to get an hour's worth of information crammed into this little video, go ahead and keep on watching. So, if there was no iPhone 12 announced at this event, what was? Well, Tim Cook made it very clear in like the first 2 minutes of this event that the only updates that we would be seeing around products would be around Apple Watch and iPad. Along with updates to the Apple Watch and the iPad, we also got a chunk of new services and features to the Apple ecosystem as a whole, including a lot of talk about the environmental impact of Apple. I'll be talking about all these updates in chunks, starting with the Apple Watch, then moving over to Apple Fitness Plus, then talking about Apple One, then going to iPad, and then ending with my final thoughts. Timestamps are going to be in the description so you can jump around as you please. So Apple Watch is getting a handful of new updates. Apple Watch Series 6 is the latest and greatest in the Apple Watch lineup, but to be honest, a lot of the features that they bragged about were coming with watchOS 7. The new features of this watch specifically is a whole bunch of new colors like Product Red and a super cool blue, and no, it's not called super cool blue, I just think it is a super cool blue. And then we have the S6 chip, which is 20% faster than the previous generation. The always-on display has been updated so that way it's brighter outdoors, as well as now the altimeter, which is something that measures like the altitude that you're on, like how high up in the sky you are, is also now an always-on altimeter. Also, in my opinion, the biggest update coming to the Series 6 Apple Watch is a blood oxygen monitor or sensor on the back of the Apple Watch. So this sensor that's on the back that tracks your heart rate and all that fun stuff is now being updated to flash a new series of lights and colors that can help determine what your blood oxygen levels are. The Series 6 Apple Watch is going to have the app that's called Blood Oxygen, so you can track all that stuff, and I think this is absolutely bonkers. The fact that we can have like this little computer on our wrist that, depending on obviously what series you have, it can track your blood oxygen levels, it can track your heart rate, and if you have an abnormal spike in your heart rate, you can also do an ECG on it. It's like all that just on your wrist, and it still looks like a cool gadget. It doesn't look like a health device, and I just think that's really awesome, and especially for the folks who are looking for just like the fitness tracker and the get your text messages on your wrist type of business, and then you get all these other cool features with it that honestly, I don't know, I like fall detection. Like there's so much cool stuff that comes jam-packed into this that it's more than just a smartwatch, but it doesn't look like more than that. I love it. Also, they explained the whole like how it tracks your blood levels by the lights flashing on your wrist and then the color that your blood reflects back on your skin to the sensors, and that's how they measure the levels. I'm not like a scientist in any realm, whether that be technology or like health, but they had a doctor on the keynote who works for Apple, who I trust her because they're the professionals, and it all checks out to me. I have a theater degree, I don't have a science degree. Now, I love these new like movie style keynotes that they've done. Obviously, because of COVID, people can't like gather in all these big spaces, so now they're doing these really cool, amazingly produced keynote movies, and I love them and they're great. Along with that, they do a lot of cool things, including amazing transitions. And while I was taking notes while watching this keynote, which is what I do to prepare for videos like these, I wrote, "That was a clean transition," in all caps. So please enjoy that clean transition. Stunning, amazing, iconic. It's so good. They're so good. I love them. I love them. Okay, moving on to the rest of the watch. To be honest, a lot of the things they promoted were for watchOS 7, like I already said. And that's something that they do with every launch and every product. They really talk about the new features coming out with the software. Now, the new product can utilize the software, and then you get all these cool things, and obviously because the product has the new technology and the new software and things are faster, it'll run even better on that. But something I always like to point out is that this is a lot of software-based things, like the sleep app, like workouts. So if you have a compatible Apple Watch with the updates that are coming out, you're gonna also have access to that stuff. I just think that's really cool, and that's one reason why I love software so much, is if you're somebody like me, who I'm not ready to get a new Apple Watch, I just got this thing a year ago. It's brand new, it works great, but I would like some of the new features coming out. Obviously, you can't get things like the blood oxygen monitor because it's built into the watch, but like sleep tracking or the new watch faces, that all comes in a free software update. Now, they didn't just announce one Apple Watch, no. If they're not announcing an iPhone, they gotta give us more than that. They announced 2 Apple Watches, the Apple Watch Series 6 and the Apple Watch SE. And now you cannot tell me that SE does not stand for Simple Edition. I said this in my iPhone SE video, and I'm saying it again here. It stands for Simple Edition, it's gotta, because that's exactly what the Apple Watch SE is. It is the simple Apple Watch. It's the basics of the Apple Watch, using some older components, dolled up to be at a nice cheap price, but you still get everything that the basic Apple Watch user or consumer is looking for. It's great. It's gonna be $279 for 40 millimeters or $309 for 44, and that is an excellent price for really updated technology. It has the S5 chip of last year's Series 5. It has the always-on altimeter of the Series 6. It's still swim-proof. It's got a regular display, so not that always-on display, and it still has fall detection as well as your heart rate detection and stuff. But it does not have the ECG app or the blood oxygen app. It's the basics that every Apple Watch consumer wants. It does the fitness thing, it does the phone thing, it does the music thing, and it does the health thing. All the things. It's a newer watch without all the bells and whistles at a cheaper price. Now that you've got your watch, what do most people use their watch for? Fitness. Apple didn't just announce watches, they announced a whole new service surrounding fitness, and it's called Apple Fitness Plus, and I am pretty excited about it. It seems really freaking cool to me. Apple Fitness Plus is a new monthly subscription service of a whole world of workout classes by the world's top fitness trainers, all by Apple. Apple Fitness Plus will live in the Fitness app, formerly known as the Activity app, and there will also be a new app coming out for the Apple TV and the iPad. It's $9.99 a month or $79.99 a year, and that is for an individual/family plan. Like, there's only one price, and it doesn't cost anything more to have a family plan, which I think is also really awesome. Hey, can you guys please also do that to Apple Music? Make it cheaper. Apple Fitness Plus is starting off with 10 different types of workouts, also including a basic beginners to workout class. The way they described it in the keynote was kind of like, if you have never moved your body intentionally besides walking, this is the class for you, so you can get to know and learn how to move your body without hurting yourself. Working out and doing all these classes can be super intimidating, but being able to have this platform that really accommodates all levels is super cool. There's also going to be new classes every week. I've never had any sort of workout from home video type of subscription like this. I know that there are a couple of different ones, whether it be the Mirror or Peloton, or I think Pop Sugar Fitness had one at one point, but I've been really getting into, during all this quarantine stuff, Blogilates and Fitness Marshall on YouTube. Now, the difference between Apple Fitness Plus and YouTube videos is that, unless if you're paying for YouTube Premium, the YouTube videos are free, and then Apple Fitness Plus costs something. So, I don't know, and they have said it comes out in the magical time of fall or late 2020, however they phrased it, so we don't know a specific month when Apple Fitness Plus is coming out. Oh, I forgot about the best part. When you're working out, all of your metrics from your watch are showing on the screen that you're watching. And then there's also sometimes that in these workouts, maybe the trainer will go, how's your heart rate doing, or whatever, and then your watch and the screen and the app and all the things will know to pop up on screen what's your heart rate, or how many calories you've burned, or how long you've been going. You get all of that sort of insight from your watch on your screen, so you never have to look down at your watch and be distracted. It's all right in front of you. So it's all talking to your watch and the Fitness Plus and all that stuff in real time. I think it's a very cool integration that they've got going on. I'm just very excited to try it. I have dumbbells, I have a TV, I'm ready. Along with subscription services, we have this king of subscription services entering the arena. Okay, sorta. It's not really a new service. It's a bundle. That's literally what it is. It's Apple bundling all their services together and calling it Apple One. Apple currently has 6 subscription services: Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, Apple News, Apple Arcade, iCloud. Oh, and then the new one, Apple Fitness Plus. So coming this fall, Apple will have 3 different bundling plans. So we've got the individual plan, which is $14.95 a month, and that includes music, arcade, TV, and iCloud, 50 gigabytes of iCloud storage. Then you have family, which is $19.95 a month, which includes music, arcade, Apple TV, and iCloud, but this time 200 gigabytes a month, and you can share with up to 5 people on your family sharing. And then you have Premiere, which is music, arcade, news, TV, iCloud, and fitness, but you get 2 terabytes of iCloud storage, with of course sharing up to 5 other people. Premiere is the only bundle that gives you access to every service, and from what they're saying on their website, starting at individual all the way up to Premiere, you can save anywhere from $6 a month to $25. Now for me, I currently have a family Apple Music subscription, Apple TV Plus, 2 terabytes of iCloud storage for myself, and 200 for my mom. That totals out to $33 a month. If I were to go with the Premiere plan, I would, yes, not be having my mom's 200 gigabytes of iCloud storage a month, but I'm not even using 200 gigabytes on my 2 terabyte. I got grandfathered into it. It was a weird thing. But anyway, I'd be saving $3 a month. Now, like I said in this video, I'm really interested in Apple Fitness Plus. That would be $10 a month. So in theory, I'm saving $13 a month total with my Apple One Premiere bundle. That's pretty rad. I'm into that. What's kind of nice / I see what you're doing, Apple, about this whole bundling thing is they're including their other services that I personally feel like are probably the least used. Apple News Plus and then Apple Arcade, I think, are probably their 2 least used subscriptions out of their 6, not including obviously Apple Fitness Plus. By having them integrate, like in every bundle, you get access to Apple Arcade. And I think it's normally only like $3 or $4 a month, so it's not a lot, but it's them kind of exposing people to this ecosystem, and then maybe like you kind of have that feeling in your head of, well, I'm paying for it, or I'm getting it included with my thing, so I may as well use it. And then there's probably ways that they benefit from more users being on it, even if they're not paying additional money to use it. I see what you're doing, Apple, and it's smart. Also, like the second they said Apple One, I could not stop thinking of one-to-one, which is like a throwback for us old school Apple fanboys. Okie dokie, so there was actually one more physical product announced. Okay, technically 2. It was the iPad 8th generation and the iPad Air 4th generation. They talked about the iPad 8th gen at first, and to be honest, it's nothing spectacular. They're just updating the iPad with just to be faster and have longer battery life and look a little bit prettier, like they should every year if they want to keep this iPad in their lineup, and also to reflect their technology of not looking like something old from 2010. Like, we're in 2020, have your baseline iPad reflect 2020 standards. It's got the A12 Bionic chip, it's 40% faster, 2 times faster graphic performance, it's got 10-hour battery life, all good things. And the average person who's watching this keynote, like the folks who are really into Apple like myself and love the new latest and greatest and see how they can expand technology type of stuff, this iPad might seem boring to them. However, when I think about the iPad 8th gen, I think back to myself when I got my first iPad, or when I was scrounging up pennies to get my mom her first iPad. To see that Apple is still putting time and energy into updating their like baseline technology to be with the standards is just something that makes me really happy, because looking at this iPad and like what all the specs are about it and just seeing the capabilities that it has, I can look at it and say everything that I did in my 6 years of college except one class that happened in my last quarter of college can be done with the iPad 8th generation, which is great. The iPad 8th generation starts at $329 for 32 gigabytes, which is not a lot of storage, but then you can get like iCloud storage to expand your cloud storage there. Google gives you free storage. You can have Pages, Numbers, Keynote, which are already installed on this device. It can send emails. A lot of places now have AirPrint printers that can print from an iPad. There's just a lot of possibilities with this thing. Thinking about a college student like myself, when I got my financial aid was paying for my rent and for doctor's bills and things. So knowing that it would only be $329 plus Apple Care and tax and whatever coming out of my financial aid instead of like $1,000 for a computer to get me started in school, that can really really make or break people. So even though the iPad 8th generation isn't spectacular and super fancy and all these things, just knowing that anybody, especially like a broke college student, can get their hands on this extraordinary piece of technology for pretty cheap without having this clunky piece of crap to get done what they need to get done, I don't know, it just makes me happy. Now, along with the 8th generation iPad, we also got I would feel like, unexpected revamp to the iPad Air, and man, she's looking fancy. We've got, okay, first of all, let's talk about immediately the colors. Hello, I love this blue representation and this green representation we're getting with this technology, because this iPad Air, of course, comes in all the basic colors, but it comes in green and sky blue, and they look so pretty. Like, I'm very into it. And it has a similar design as the new iPad Pros, so it looks very like iPhone 5, iPhone 4S era, no curved like aluminum, it's the flat business around the edges, and it's not my favorite. It's fine. It's fine. Now, with that design, like I mentioned, it does mirror the iPad Pro in also the same way how the display is a full edge-to-edge display. Now, you might be thinking, oh, Annelies, it's got a full-size display. That must mean it has Face ID. Just kidding, no it doesn't. This event did not need to be called Time Flies, it needed to be called Expect, not even the unexpected, like diverging expectations, because folks, it's 2020 and Apple is putting time and energy into advancements in Touch ID technology. I'm not mad about it. Like I said in my iPhone SE video, I am a Touch ID stan. It's very interesting. Now you might be wondering, where is the Touch ID going if the home button's gone? Well, it's in the lock button or the side button or the power button, whatever you want to call it. That's now your Touch ID sensor, which watching the keynote and like seeing how it goes in different orientations, like when you're using a smart Magic keyboard, I think it's called. When you're using the Magic Keyboard, the iPad gets oriented to where the power button is on the left-hand side. So that means you would be definitely wanting to scan both of your fingerprints, because having to reach across the thing would just be weird. It's just very convenient with, you know, living in this world where masks are covering our faces, and I know I'm not the only one who's had issues with Face ID during this time, and considering that there are some schools open, even though they should not be, and then kids are going to be in schools, maybe using these iPads, wearing masks, I could see where that issue would come up. Like, part of me thinks, oh, this was done because of the masks thing, but also knowing that these products are put into production so much earlier than they are announced, I don't know if they would have had time to know that, and this stuff isn't designed in just a weekend, so I don't know. I have maybe my weird theories, but I think it's good. I think it's fine. I like Touch ID. I'm not mad about it. I don't have any real feelings about this. I just find it funny. No Face ID. Okay, not even both, but that's fine. It's fine. I'll go ahead and drop the rest of the specs on screen here, because there were quite a bit of updates, to be honest, but we've got a new A14 Bionic chip that is like mega small or something. There's a 40% increase in CPU performance. USB-C is also on this iPad, which is great for bridging that gap between iPad and computer, and it has an updated 12 megapixel back camera. All starting at $599 for 64 gigabytes or $749 for 256, and it will be available in October. So now that I've touched on everything that was like officially in the keynote, I wanted to end with like my final thoughts, and I've got a few bullet points here. First thing, which I forgot to mention, while I kind of held out mentioning until the end, all this software comes out tomorrow. The software comes out on, today's the 15th, so it comes out on Wednesday, September 16th. We don't have to wait a week. I don't have to wait for the new iPhone to come out to get the new operating system, because that is what I was scared about, is them not letting me have iOS 14 until October. The next thing that I forgot to mention is family setup. So what family setup is you can have an Apple Watch that's an Apple Watch Series 4 or newer connected to be set up for, in theory, a child or an older adult, to where they don't have to have an iPhone to set up an Apple Watch. Obviously, considering the features being available of giving that person a phone call or a text message or checking their location, they are going to need a cellular service attached to it. And I know with certain carriers, it's anywhere from like $5 to like $15 a month. So that, in comparison to, let's say, having your 10-year-old child who you want to get an Apple Watch for all the safety, fitness, whatever features it may be, you have to get them a phone. So that's a phone line that on my carrier would be like $60 additional for that line, plus the $10 or $15 for the Apple Watch service line. Like, that's like 70, could potentially be upwards of $50 to just have your kid per month have a watch, not even including the cost of the watch. But maybe a parent or somebody who has an older adult in their life wants the watch for just the sake that you can say I have a phone on my wrist, I can track their location, especially for older adults, the fall detection, the ECG, the blood oxygen monitoring. Those are all really cool things that those two groups of people in particular might not need smartphones. I think having families set up to where you can have one person in the family get these folks with this technology. I'm explaining it very badly, but I would recommend going to the website and checking it out if you are somebody who has a small child or an older adult, because this might be something really cool for you. Now, I think I mentioned this in my last keynote update video, but I love these movies that Apple is doing right now, and I really hope they don't stop. Also, these are just so much better. They're so much more enjoyable. They're throwing little jokes in there that land really well because it's taped and it's not live and there's no fumbling with the, oh, this got disconnected or whatever. You're able to see things in such better detail, and they're amazing movies. They are movies and I'm into it. I love it. I hope they keep doing these forever. So that is it for my Apple September 2020 Time Flies event roundup. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and more importantly, I hope you're excited, because I'm excited. Thanks for hanging out with me and letting me chat to you about something that I look forward to so much, are these events, and they just make me really happy, and especially in this time where things are really uncertain and not normal, it's nice to have this kind of sense of normalcy, the thing I always look forward to every year, still be there. Now, of course, with new software coming out, I've got a few new videos on the horizon, of course, talking about all these different iOS features, the iPad OS, the new Watch OS, so if you want to see anything in specific or particular from me, please let me know in the comment section down below. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a like. It really supports my channel and my videos. It lets YouTube know that y'all like me in videos like this. And so if you don't understand how much liking videos and commenting on videos and subscribing to channels really supports us. And the fun thing about it all is it's all free. And when I say us, I mean creators. It's all free. So like I said, subscribe to my channel if you're new. I make videos about tech stuff. I make videos about lifestyle stuff and a whole bunch of other things in between. And if you have any requests for future videos or anything that you want to share, honestly, about what I've talked about in this video, what you're most excited about, just talk to me in the comments. I really want to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching. Stay beautiful, have a marvelous day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!